Hello and welcome to another Exeter Rider live stream. I had a couple technical issues there, but we're here now, and it's all a bit of a learning curve, isn't it? Every day's a school day. Anyway, thanks for coming along. Who have we got here at the moment? Code Grey, hi mate. Jeremy Hollier, Sailing Devon's Coast, hello. Banditman UK, hello mate, how are you? Guy Stevens, Revbomb, hi Rev. While I'm at that, actually, Revbomb does have a good channel. He does a lot of live streams every Friday night, so it's always worth checking out. I normally pop in and see him, and sometimes go on the stream as well. Noobbiker, we'll be seeing you in a second. Jim Sadler, hi mate. So tonight we're going to be mainly talking motorbikes. We have two special guests tonight, as opposed to just the one, and I'll also have Saddlebag 73, Noobbiker, and Westonsupermotovlogs with us as well. We haven't got Epicadam today because he's not feeling too well. So get well soon, Adam. Hope all is well there. And I will now bring in the lads. Hello, guys.
Hola. Hello, my
Hola.
friends.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Muy bien, ¿y tú?
Muy bien.
Second time after the first time.
Photosynthesis.
How's it all going?
All good.
Good.
All good. Can I
That's a very groovy light you got there, Phil.
I thought I'd bring in a bit of sparkle, you know what I mean?
He's a star.
Yeah.
Can I
Shooting
say
star.
how sorry I am that Epicadam
Me shooting.
especially because he sent me a gift in the post. This was from Epicadam. It's a high-vis vest. Obviously, he's concerned about my safety. It's also got a little message on the back that he's had put on there for me. So thank you, Epicadam, and get well soon.
It might have his germs on it as well, Saddle.
Sorry?
Might have his germs on it as well.
Oh, yeah.
And it goes in the fire. Woof. Yeah. How's you doing, Noob?
That's a very nice.
You want Noob?
Hello.
Hello. I like your hat.
Thank you. I thought I looked the part. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Jealous.
My kids will be in a minute saying, "Oh, look, it's Father Christmas."
Yeah, I've heard that before.
I don't do Christmas. I'm one of these. Don't want
Aha.
it.
Before you say anything, Phil, yes, I am drinking Thatcher's today because that's all
Good
they had
lad.
at the supermarket.
It's been all they had. That was in the premium aisle.
All the decent stuff had run out, mate. It's normally White Lightning in Exeter anyway.
And today we got Santa Enderman from Del Monte.
You say,
Yeah.
you say yes.
You guys still out riding your bikes then?
Yeah. No.
No, I've not ridden for a couple of weeks, actually. I polished the bike 4 times, but I haven't ridden it. So.
You polished it 4 times.
I wish that was a lie, but it's not.
I have been riding it during the week for work, but unfortunately not on the weekend because the weekends have been absolute horrible for weather over here. Last weekend it was really windy. In fact, a tile fell off my roof, and this weekend it was just rained out.
Yeah.
I rode through 3 storms yesterday.
But I rode to work last Monday, and it was. I looked at the temperature gauge on the Z, and it was showing -3.
Jesus, you got to be so careful when it's like that, haven't you, Exeter?
It
was dry.
I was waiting for that. Yeah. Yeah, I've been there, done that. I'm not doing that again. Yeah.
No.
As soon as the sun goes in, that's it. I'm packing up. No joking.
Yeah.
No, actually, have I been out for a ride? Yeah, I took out. I sent back the CB1000 and CB500 last week, and I was able to get to the BMW then. So it was great to get back on the Beamer again. So that's about the only riding I've done really. But now it's too cold. I can't be bothered these days to go out in the cold. So
No.
yeah,
When you
leave
get
it
to
in the
our
garage.
age,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you feel the cold, don't you? Yeah.
you do, yeah. When it gets to the point where someone says if you wrap up okay, you'll be all right, I don't want to wrap up. I want to go out and enjoy riding and not be fixed in the same position because I can't move.
Yeah, exactly.
Heated jacket.
And then there's a thing, yeah.
Yeah. You've got one of them, haven't you, Saddle?
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. Do they use up a lot of power? Do you just plug them into the USB, do you, on your bike?
It was up to the battery.
Oh, okay.
Or you can get the vests that run off batteries, by themselves. I've got one that plugged into the battery on the bike. I was out about 3 hours yesterday, and it was toasty.
Yeah, it's good. So
but the thing is, even this time of year, it's always glorious in Cornwall, isn't it?
Yep.
You're that far south.
They were warm hailstorms.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you, Neeb? Have you got any heated gear, or do you just?
I have heated gloves, and in fact, I should have a video coming up about that soon. And I made a video about riding in 3 degrees negative Celsius, which is what, 26 Fahrenheit. I don't know when that's coming out. But yeah, I've got the heated gloves, which I've had since my CBT 125 days, and I've just taken it from bike to bike. Because all you have to do is take the battery connectors out, plug it in, and it comes out underneath the seat. I run the wires inside the jacket and comes out on the side, plug it in, select the temperature, hands are toasty, and then it's just layering up to stop the wind from killing you. But yeah, on Monday, when -3, I actually had my balaclava on as well. It was that bad. But yeah, thankfully it was dry the 2 days prior, so there was very little risk of ice. But
yeah, that's good. Yeah, no, like I say, I haven't been out. The thing is with me is that I drop my youngest off to school, and then I'm working in Exeter anyway, so I just go straight to work in the van. There's no point messing around, going and getting the bike out, getting my gear on, and by the time I mess around like that, it's not worth it, is it? We've got 2 people coming in tonight. I can't see them. If they are watching this, if they could click into the link that I gave them earlier, then that'd be great. So we'll get the show on the road then.
So just a question next. Go on, New.
Yeah, while we're waiting, I just wanted to mention Dewey Rides is on the chat, and I've been watching his channel recently, and I'm amazed at the sort of quality of the footage and the videos that he's putting out, and the scenery that he's riding through in Montana. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I just think he deserves a lot more viewers and subscribers than he's got right now. It's absolutely stunning channel.
All right, sorry, say that again. What's it called?
Dewey Rides.
Dewey. Oh, okay.
Dewey, as in Dewey, Huey, and Louie. DEWEY.
Oh, I have to watch. I have to look out for that. Yeah, I can't say I've noticed that one before. Our special guests have arrived, so we'll. You ready to bring them in, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, I introduce Banditmanuk Re, otherwise known as Richard and Carol. Hi, guys. Thanks for coming into the live chat.
Yeah, we finally found out what to do.
Yeah. I know that feeling, mate. I had a 5-minute disaster. I meant to start 5 minutes earlier.
Yeah, we were wondering what was happening.
Yeah. I launched the intro, the whole lot, and then I put everybody on. And I didn't click the live button to go live. So anyway, there you go. So you've been out to the show today, haven't you guys?
Yeah, well, yesterday, yeah.
Yesterday we went
to the show, so
and yeah, we had a good look round. It was interesting. So yeah, we're going to go back though tomorrow. So we're doing a double visit this time.
Yeah, because we didn't film yesterday. So we're hoping to be a bit quieter on the weekday, don't we? So
yeah, we went with friends, do a bit of a social visit, and we're going to go back with a camera tomorrow and hopefully capture a few things.
Enough for a video.
Enough for a video, yeah. But you know, unfortunately, the bike I really want to see isn't there, which is
the
10.
The MT-10.
MT-10, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yamaha haven't got any bikes there, so.
So just to put the people in the picture, you've been on YouTube for probably 5 years now or longer.
Well, I've had a channel, or we've had a channel. I've had a channel for a long time, and it was just a dumping ground for ride vids for years. And probably about 3 or 4 years ago, I started to try and make something a little bit better for YouTube.
Well, we realised that other people were watching it, weren't we?
Yeah, by default, I'd managed to get myself 300 subscribers, and I thought, well, I may as well try and do something with it. And from probably about 3 years, it's gone from 300 to nearly 3,000. But
yeah,
you know,
oh, that's good.
Well, yeah, I'm quite pleased for saying it's just mostly our holiday videos where we go and where we ride, really.
Yeah,
so,
YouTube tends to do that, doesn't it? You tend to get a certain amount of subscribers, and you think, "Hang on, I'm onto something here," and then it sort of hooks you, and away you go. Then,
yeah.
I think we've all been in that position.
Yeah, it's quite a surprise that other people want to watch our stuff, really, isn't it?
But, it is really. I mean, all we do is, where we're going, what we're doing, and the ride, really. And we try and do a little bit more off-bike stuff now. A few motorcycle-related places that we visit. So anything that takes our fancy, really. We're not doing it trying to do anything commercially. We're just doing it for fun, really.
Yeah. I think you've got to do it for fun because there's no money in it anyway, is there? So
no. So if you're not enjoying it, there's not much point, is there?
No.
So
yeah, and that's what comes through. Is it just totally comes through that you guys enjoy it, and I think that's what adds to the sort of quality of the content, really.
Yeah, it's just a love of motorcycling, like all of you, really, isn't it? We all love riding motorbikes, and that's what it's mainly about, isn't it? We're not trying to do anything else with the channel other than to show that, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and if
I think
one or two people enjoy it,
Well, from my point of view, watching your two channels or your channel, when you have your conversations between the two, which I got to say you edit brilliantly, right? it's like a window into a normal conversation, which is what YouTube was always designed to be, which is actually a window into other people's lives. Sometimes you watch things and it's very fake and very false and very scripted, blah blah blah. But yours is like you sat down listening to two people having a conversation. It's like, when you people watch, it's amazing. But just wanted to point out, we've got two people now, two channels in front of me now that have mastered something that is very hard to master. But you two do it very well, and that's Richard and Carol, and also Noob, which is 360 camera use. Now, I've mentioned it on yours, Richard, quite a few times, saying how well you use it as an addition rather than this whole spinny thing making you feel travel sick. And also when Noob did it, you used it for the nighttime London ride, and you guys have mastered it. And if people could just watch your videos to learn how to use 360 cameras properly, the world would be a much less green place. I mean, that is my skin color.
Well, thank you very much for saying. I appreciate that. I mean, we've got to use it sparingly.
Yeah, we've watched other people's channels and thought, oh, I don't think I can watch that. It does make you feel a bit seasick.
It actually makes you feel seasick, doesn't it? Some of the 360.
When they're really spinning around.
It's very tempting to go crazy on it.
Yeah.
And by the way, thanks for mentioning that. And I'm planning to do another video with a 360. But I don't do many because, to be honest, it's a pain in the backside to edit. I really find it really horrible to edit because my workstation where I do most of my work is Linux, and it doesn't have an editing suite for that, so I have to do it on the laptop, transfer it over. Anyway, I'm planning something, fingers crossed, if the weather holds out sometime this week, to do the London Christmas lights.
That looks brilliant.
So
Brilliant.
Fingers crossed.
That'll save me a fortune because my wife wants me to drive to London to see them. But if you can do it for me, that'd be brilliant.
So,
I mean, I think it was actually Carol's channel. You did one when you were in Mid Wales in Devil's Bridge, and the camera started looking over a scenery, and then it turned round, and you were both in the window of the hotel. I'm sure it was. And it was just, it was just brilliant because it wasn't spinning around at 200 miles an hour. It was really well done. Really well done.
We had considered flying the drone from there to get a shot like coming out from the window, but we chickened out of that, didn't we?
we've already lost one.
We've already
drone in
lost
this
one.
Elder drone flyer as well. We've lost one.
So,
So
we just thought the 360 will do, but yeah.
Well, since you mentioned drones, I just want to say I watched Saddlebags video today with the tin mine, and the drone footage was amazing, especially when it started, when it kind of lifted off from the top of the chimney. I thought that was ace. That was like, I wish I could do that.
Yeah, there was a moment I was heading towards 2 windows, and I thought if he goes through those 2 windows, then I'll ride down there now and give him a medal myself. But
I cheated there. I reversed the footage. I started.
Oh, never give away your secrets.
Never tell your secrets.
Don't give away those secrets. We've done that loads, and it just looks so impressive, doesn't it? When it comes in straight.
I'm so less impressed now.
Anyone could do it.
Again, with the drone, I think you can overuse it as well. But it is nice that you've got something to focus on, isn't it? Like the tin mine or a castle.
Yeah, a castle. It's nice to have something to fly around, and rather than just
generally go.
I like Carol's recent footage of the lake in Scotland with that little island in the middle.
Little island in the middle. It was so cute, like a little chess piece, didn't it? Yeah.
Fantastic.
That was over water again.
That was in the middle of Loch Rannoch, and somebody in the last century, it was just a folly. It wasn't anything else. Somebody just built a castle on an island in the middle of a lake.
No, it's beautiful there. We were very lucky with our Scotland. So
yeah, brilliant.
Yeah,
you do a lot of trips, don't you? You do. It's many trip stuff that you do, really, isn't it?
It is mainly. That's what we enjoy doing, but it's not what gets the best views on the videos, really. But that's what we enjoy doing, is touring and going and seeing places, really. So that's what it's about for us as far as biking and that, really.
Yeah.
So COVID kind of put a stop to some of it last year, but we've got hopefully some plans to
get out and about next year.
Yeah,
hope so. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. What about European stuff? You ever been over to Europe and places like that? And
we've done the Picos, we've done the French Alps, we've been to a place called Bourg-Saint-Maurice, and every road out of Bourg is amazing, and there's a nice sort of campsite, Utopia site, where you can rent a cabin for the week and you can just ride out of Bourg every day.
Highly recommend the French Alps. It's just brilliant. Base yourself somewhere like Bourg-Saint-Maurice or any of the ski resorts. It's just fabulous riding. Ride around Mont Blanc.
Yeah.
Just amazing,
Brilliant.
And
just getting there, it's a pain.
Especially if you're time constrained with work like we are.
Yeah, in the summer we really do week-long holidays.
We are planning to go back to the Picos next year, which has been postponed twice now, simply because of all the COVID regs. So we're almost certainly definitely going to go if we're allowed.
Fingers crossed,
So hopefully try and make a
it's looking a bit dodgy again now, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, I know.
It's a pain.
Talking of tours, Exeter, you mentioned when you first opened up that you're going to do a tour of the UK. No, I know you've never been further east than Exmouth, and you've never been further west than Newton Abbot. So, is it a big tour, or are you splashing out to Torquay, or?
Yeah, I think it was Quinn that's kind of pushed my boundaries a bit. Going down to Cornwall on a 125, I thought, God, UK must be a piece of cake on the NC. I say a tour of the UK. It'll just be it'll just be a week's trip, I expect, around seeing different people, I suppose. I'm going to Wales in August as well for an off-road day. While the rest of the family are on holiday, I'm going off for an off-road day, so that should be pretty good. Yeah. But just see how it goes. No one knows what's happening at the moment, do we? With what's going around. So you can't plan nothing at the moment, can you?
No.
So
it's really difficult.
It's all hit and miss, really. Bike-wise, guys,
plan, but be prepared for everything to change.
Yes,
at the last minute,
and make sure you can cancel and not lose too much money. That's what I'm telling people. Bike-wise, you've got an MT-10 and a Speed Triple, Carol Scott, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Or
they're good bikes.
She's
675 Street Triple. It's 2016 model. So I've had that.
Good bikes for touring.
Yeah.
They're not ideal touring bikes. Certainly the MT-10 isn't. But I'm a big guy, but I'm really comfortable on it. I can't get comfortable behind screen bikes. I've had loads of them, and I get loads of buffeting. I'm 6'3", and all I get is buffeting. I think Saddlebags knows about buffeting with that Himalayan, and it's a nightmare really, and that's why I prefer to have no screen and just take the air full on. And
until you're on the motorway, it's fine. I tend to try and avoid motorways anyway.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's not too bad.
Yeah. But you've got the cruise control, haven't you, on the MT-10?
He has.
I have. Yeah.
You have, yeah.
He has.
Yeah.
Now the biggest problem touring on the MT-10 is fuel range, and you're looking for fuel every 100 miles, and that's why Carol's really good on Garmin Basecamp. That when we do our tours, she's got the tour planned out in the sat nav, and we know where we're going to stop. We know where all the filling stations are, so it makes it takes some of the range anxiety out of touring on an MT-10.
Yeah, we plan 100-mile stops, don't we?
We do,
fuel, so
yeah. They do drink the fuel, don't they? I mean, when I tried the MT-10, I was drinking it, but only because I was, whizzing around a bit too fast, I think. But I do know that they do drink a lot. Yeah.
It's a crazy machine, really. But...
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, it'd be interesting.
You forget it's got 6 gears, don't you? Yeah.
That's some of the problem with the fuel consumption. I quite like the noise it makes in like second and third, and it'll do like 100 miles an hour in seconds. So you tend to just keep keeping the low gear for the noise, and you wonder why the fuel economy is at like 30 mpg.
Yeah, the sound of them is amazing. Much like the VFR, actually. That sort of sound, isn't it? That sort of roar.
Well, it's got that unique noise with it being that cross-plane firing order. It sounds a bit like a V4. It's got its own sound, really.
Yeah, be interesting to see what Euro 5 does to it, won't it?
Well, I'd be interested to see one. If
I can find one
to ever test ride when they come out.
Put your bike up, actually.
What's
your bike there?
There it is. Yes, that's it.
And then we got the new one, which is got those beady eyes.
Yeah, it's got eyebrows.
Yeah, not too sure about that. I don't really think I like that, to be honest with you. It looks a bit, a bit odd.
Definitely had a mixed reaction on the MT-10 groups that I'm a member of. Some of them like it, some of them,
it's Marmite.
But there was talk of it going to be a 3-cylinder turbocharged or supercharged engine at one time, and all they've done really is just uprate it slightly for Euro 5 and a bit of a restyling job, and they've taken off the side panels, and I think it was Moto UK who's also got one. He told me that the frame's still got the holes in where those side panels fit, so that's a little bit disappointing. So I need to take a closer look and see whether that's true.
Yeah, Moto UK is going up to the show tomorrow, don't you?
Yeah, I said I'm going to meet him there at some point, so hopefully I will.
Yeah, seems a nice chap actually. Yeah. So what have you seen at the show that takes your fancy at the moment then?
BSA.
The BSA stand.
It does look impressive.
And we've neither of his own retro style bikes, but I was quite impressed with the finish of those bikes, weren't you, Carol?
Yeah, I thought they looked nice. The only problem is there's no prices on anything at the moment. So
no, but the girl said it's going to be competitively priced against anything.
So it'll be interesting when the prices come out. But it's comfortable.
I mean, from the pictures, they seem a bit more chunky than the Enfields, aren't they?
Oh yeah. I'd say they'd look a bit more. Yeah, a bit heavier duty, perhaps. Probably a heavier bike.
Well, I don't think they're going to be super lightweight. I mean, it's got it's got all the fins on the engine to make it look air-cooled, but there is a whacking radiator sitting at the front of it.
We'll have a closer look at the specs, I think, tomorrow.
But it does look a nice machine, and I don't know whether classic BSA Goldstar owners are going to be going, oh no, you know,
Yeah.
calling it a BSA Goldstar, but
Yeah, they've only got that one
Yeah.
model, haven't they, by the looks of it?
yeah, but
Yeah.
it does look, it does
It
look
does
nice.
look-
And
yeah.
I reserve judgment until we find out what they ride like and what the
Yeah.
prices are like.
And
But
how reliable they are.
and there's also talk of them building them back here in England. So I've heard a rumor that they could be looking to open up a place in Solihull. Because
Where are they building them now?
India at the
India,
moment,
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because BSA are an Indian company at the moment, aren't they? They are.
Yeah.
I think they
Yeah.
basically. I think the actual name sat dormant for many years, and it's only now it's sort of relaunched again. Yeah, I'm hoping to go up. I might be able to go up on Thursday, Wednesday stroke Thursday, but I'm on a job at the moment where I can't really leave it. So yeah, day job gets in the way, normal working life, isn't it? But what's your thoughts on it, Saddle? That's your type of thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I'm not in the market for one, but I'm really excited to see how well they do.
Yeah,
they've got to win. They've got to win the confidence of people first, haven't they? And
Yeah.
I was on the understanding, perhaps 12 months ago, when I first learned BSA were coming back, that they were going to be built in the UK. Obviously, not straight away, but do you any
I
more?
think that is their intention from what they were saying.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the companies, such as Triumph and BSA, are trying to come back here now, aren't they, to manufacture again, as opposed to with. It's not just Brexit, is it? It's what's going on in the world at the moment that's causing problems getting bike parts in.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's transporting anything around the world is costing loads more now, and I think they're looking to consolidate in the areas that they're selling them rather than moving goods around the world now. Because I mean, even to get in a container now to move a bike around, it's like 3 or 4 times as expensive as it was, before COVID and all that sort of stuff. So,
well, I understand the price of containers has gone up by about £10,000.
It's got ridiculous.
You know, and 10 to 15.
Yeah,
it's horrendous, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's not to do with Brexit. I don't think. I think that's just the way it is at the moment. I think it's the
I think it's a worldwide problem at the moment. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm seeing stories that there's supply chain problems all over the world, in the US as well as everywhere else. So and that's just obviously the pandemic, but then also that incident with that ship that got stuck in the Suez Canal, and the whole world economy became so well integrated with real time, just in time shipping. Because then people don't have to spend money on warehousing and holding huge amounts of stock, because they can just get it whenever they want, which makes everything cheaper for us. But then you run the risk, if there's any kind of disruption, then things just go out of whack, because there's no buffering, there's no buffer to take account of any disruptions. So it's the up and down. We've been getting stuff much cheaper because things can arrive just in time, and they don't have to be warehoused. People don't have to hold stock, and don't have to finance the stock. But at the same time, anything happens, any disruption to that chain, and things get delayed and prices go up. So
this is why the second-hand used market for bikes and cars and other things has just escalated in price, because people are just, instead of going for a new car, they're going somewhere a year old because it's already in the country. So I can't see that changing anytime soon.
I've heard as well that the reason that Yamaha haven't gone to the show this year is because they can't get the bikes. So what's the point in spending tens of thousands of pounds to be at the show when they got nothing to sell, basically? How true that is, I don't know. But
that was the impression when we visited a Yamaha dealership to inquire about the MT-10 and when they get one, and whether we could get a test ride in one. There was disinterest, really, wasn't there?
Yeah, he got no idea when.
But they were just at EICMA one day. They were there, and Piaggio Group.
They were at EICMA,
So are they not going to sell in the UK, but they're going to sell over there? I don't understand that.
I think they'll come through eventually, but I just don't know when they're going to get stock.
I think they think that when the stock comes in, that they'll sell everything that they've got. So they're not that bothered.
And they probably will, to be fair.
I mean,
won't they?
I tried to just not even get a test ride. I just wanted to sit down on a CRF 250, and the guy said for me, like, I get anything before like February, March next year. There's nothing. Everything that the only one that's coming in is coming in like 6 weeks, and this guy's been waiting for 3 months because he basically has already paid for the bike, and he's been waiting for 3 months. So
Well, Quinn's in the house now, and he's just put a comment up saying that he's got a friend that imports bikes from India. I assume it's India. 2,000 to 3,000 it used to be for a container pre-COVID. Now it's 8,000, and there's no punctuality. He's lost an absolute fortune on fireworks. It's not just bikes, but he's lost a fortune on fireworks. They can't come when it's going to arrive.
Yeah. He's
It's a
got
mess.
next year's fireworks instead of this year's
Yeah,
fireworks.
it's got next year's fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's the same with a lot of stuff at the moment, isn't it? So.
Well, we did the factory tour at Triumph for Friday, and it was really interesting what the guys were telling us about them trying to get parts to build bikes. Their goods inward was empty. You know, they've got miles of stacks of shells, and they're all empty.
Can't get the stuff, and they've changed the whole production line. Instead of it being like a conveyor belt going along, they're having to actually just wait till they've got all the bits for that bike, and then they can build. That bike. But they can't do the production line with them all coming through because there's just one piece missing, and the whole production line stops. So
they've actually taken the production line out where they all used to hang up and go in a line around and be built. They're all being built by
just guys with trays full of stuff.
I mean, it's still a very high-tech setup, but basically he said that when they build the bike now, they do not even put the engine out to build unless they've got every nut, bolt, and washer so it can complete. Last time, when they ran out of an item when they were building the bike, it stopped the production line, because it was actually in the middle of the line. And now they're having more success building what they can build. And when we were there, they were knocking out Tigers, Tiger 900. So
there's a lot of comments on the side chat, on the live chat here. I think Pete said the local Triumph dealership sold 50 speed triples last year, and they're only getting 12 next year because that's all they're going to get in. I thought the Triumphs were built over here, or were they always still built in Thailand? And
no, Thailand.
Mainly Thailand.
Maybe
even
Thailand at the moment.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
When we went to Triumph on Friday, they're saying they're putting in 2 more production lines. They were just in the process of marking them out, ready to build them, but it's going to be probably next year before
you can see the area they're going to set them up. They are definitely going to be building
more here.
And
I think it's part of this transport issue.
It is.
When they say build, are they just assembling them, and the parts are still coming from all over the world? Because that's
all
going
over.
to be...
Obviously, they get the Brembo brakes, and they get different bits from different places, but they're assembling them here.
The Thailand factory does all the bulk of the castings, and I think the Thailand factories are still the main hub, and there's other factories around the world that are just assembly sites, but that's to get around the rules and regulations about where bikes are built. Because there's a 200% levy on bikes built in certain areas unless they're actually built in that region. So that's the reason that bikes are built in India, I think, and there was somewhere else as well. Brazil, and I think they're just assembly sites,
because then they can say it was built there. And then they don't get around this.
But obviously, the bikes that are going to be built in England, certain degree of certain assemblies are still going to be built in Thailand and come back here. That's how I understand it, anyway.
The Harley Davidson Street 750 and the Street Rod are built in India, so they can enter the Asian market, except for the ones that are sold in America. They're built in Milwaukee, but for the rest of the world, those particular bikes are all made in India.
It's a bit of a mess, really.
Companies have to go with what works for each country, I suppose, don't they? And they'll do whatever's the most economic for each.
But one thing that did interest me going around there are still 650 people employed at the Hinckley factory. And we've seen a lot of them. They're working.
Just a second. Quinn and Lockwood, you're both on the naughty list now, all right?
Oh, they're saying about Father Christmas, are they? I didn't see that actually.
Can I just say one more thing?
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, though, isn't it? That I mean, I'm all very much for bikes being built over here, but as a consumer, in theory, it might put the price up again, mightn't it?
Yeah, you
By
don't
the
want to
time
spend
the
a
government
fortune,
bung
do
a load
you?
of tax on it.
Everything's
Yeah,
gonna
well,
be
why are Enfield's so popular? They're cheap, aren't they?
Good value, yeah.
The good
Yeah.
value,
Good value,
good
yeah.
bike, but they wouldn't be that cheap if they're all being put together here. That's
No.
the sad truth about it.
Yeah.
And
It's the old saying about classic British bikes, isn't it? Why do they leak so much oil? So you know it hasn't run out.
Yeah. I wonder what those BSAs are going to be like.
Well,
I don't know.
Probably very reliable.
hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I first took out the Interceptor when it literally first come out. And I think I was one of the first people on YouTube to review one, and the amount of grief I got in the comments, people saying, "Oh, you wait, it's going to fall apart. You know, give it 2 months, it'll be a." You know, last time I checked, they're doing blooming well.
They are. Yeah.
There's been a lot of comments earlier on in the live chat about Chinese bikes as well. I think they're in the conversation. My question is, I watched a video the other day, I think about Norton. Was it Norton that were building a new factory? And they putting all of this money in. And in my mind, it doesn't make any sense. How many years more are they gonna be allowed to sell internal combustion engine bikes?
Yeah.
And they're putting all this money in. How are they going to recoup that before they have to switch to something else? Because it's a lot of money being invested in something that's basically going to be phased out.
Well, they paid a lot of many millions of pounds for that company from the receivers, and that's a really good question. I don't know how they'll do it.
Don't understand the economics of it, no.
No, I don't.
What do you think, mate?
Sorry, I've got a view on that actually. The way I see it is that when are people like Honda, Suzuki, Yamaha going to make that jump as well? Because at the moment, for example, Honda are making they're making a lot of new bikes, but they're using existing engines such as the NT1100. They're using an Africa Twin engine, so it's almost like and Triumph do it all the time, don't they? They build an engine and chop it into different chassis and try and rebrand and remarket a new bike, which is actually
they all do it. The
thing.
Kawasaki did a 650, the Z650, the Z650, the Ninja 650, the Versa 650, all the same engine. The Vulcan S, same engine.
Yeah, and now they've got a new one.
I'll tell you when they'll do it. They'll do it when the amount of sponsorship stops going into MotoGP and World Superbikes and other motorsports that are using internal combustion engines. Once that sponsorship stops, then they'll start looking into renewable energy sources.
Well, hang on. I think aren't they net spenders on MotoGP? I don't think they make money out of MotoGP, right?
They sell a lot of bikes on the back of MotoGP,
right?
On the back on the back of World Superbikes. People don't go out and buy the latest R1M unless it's derivative, which is nothing like actually a MotoGP bike, but this derivative is actually won races or won championships. They sell on the back of the quality of their racing stock. So,
right. Yeah. But also, did I see something there about MotoGP having the new fuel rules that they're going to have a lot more renewable fuel content in the
possibly I haven't seen that
next season. Yeah, they're going to have to use like 40% to 100% over the next few years. They're going to has to be from renewable sources.
Yeah,
and I didn't know this, but MotoGP does not have a control fuel. Every team can have their own fuel formulated especially for them.
Right.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
I mean, what's interesting is some car manufacturers are actually bringing out next year hydrogen self-powered vehicles mainstream. So, for instance, like the PSA brand, so your Peugeot, Citroen, Vauxhall, Opel, they're going to have a hydrogen-powered van next year. Which I think electric is a bit of a stopgap. If I'm being honest with you, I think electric will get through a short period of time, because in reality, the range and charging times are going to improve, but not improve dramatically. Whereas hydrogen's different. It's a clean burn, but it also means you can just refuel in the same way you would a normal fuel, petrol or diesel engine.
I think hydrogen's quite
You're
exciting. I think JCB have put a lot of money into
JCB
hydrogen
think
for their
hydrogen's
plant.
the way to go with their
Yeah.
heavy equipment,
Yeah,
because they just don't see electric ever. You never
Not
have the
powerful
capacity on like these heavier
Sites.
machines, you know,
No.
the earth scrapers and that just won't work.
No.
Yeah, but my argument with hydrogen when it comes to the bikes is that you need a big space to store hydrogen, don't you? And bikes just haven't got that. You can lose it in a car or a van, you know, whack it underneath the chassis or whatever. But hydrogen in a bike, I can't really see that happening. I think electric is the way for motorbikes. That's my opinion.
See which way it
Well, the
goes.
thing is, they
knows?
said that
Who
about
knows?
electric bikes. Yeah, when they first came out with electric powered vehicles, they said, how are we going to get a battery big enough to power a motorbike on something that size? But I mean, Harley managed it really well. Zero have done it, and amongst others. I mean, you know, electric mopeds now are really compact. It's a hurdle that they need to jump over. I get that. It's not going to be easy, but I think that is going to be the way forward. I know Ducati were sort of teasing. Was it Ducati or Porsche were teasing? Basically potato fuel. It was like a synthetic fuel, but I don't think they've gone very far with that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
if
I
we
mean-
want to go touring, we still can't consider an electric motorbike, can
No.
we?
No.
Because
And
if we want to
I
get across
and I
France
don't think
and
it will. I don't think that will ever come to a reality. The footprint of the
Agree.
format is just not conducive to you having something that can go that distance. The electric motorcycles are going to be good for urban mobility, not for long distance. So if you live in town and you want to go around, an electric scooter makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
we watched your commute through London on that electric scooter, and it kind of made sense. Though it did.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For that sort
It
of
makes
thing.
perfect
Yeah.
sense.
It's what we use a bike for. We go further on our bikes than we do in the car, don't we? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So really good stuff on the chat. But the Ponksters come in and said they've had hydrogen-powered buses in Aberdeen for about 5 years. And also Hippodrones has come on and said that Ducati are actually making the next Moto e-bikes. So
Yeah.
some big brands, you know, like Ducati, are obviously looking at other options. But as Noob
Are they going
said,
to have?
you get 10
Are they
years.
going to
that's
have
all
two
you've got, really.
motors? Are they going to have two motors in the Moto E?
2 electric motors.
Yeah, but go that way.
It was interesting on the Triumph stand, tucked away on the back of the Triumph stand, and Triumph have got a really good stand. They got the electric powertrain for their next generation.
But it was
of
kind of
electric
there,
bike.
but not there,
But
wasn't
it was attracting zero interest. We had a good look at it. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's been developed in partnership with Williams Racing,
Yeah.
and they're definitely working on
They're
it.
having to, aren't they?
But they're having to wait. They're waiting for the right opportunity to put it out there when they think they can sell it for the right price, and they're going to convince people like us, you know, to part with our petrol-powered bikes and buy electric.
But that's my thing with the Suzuki, Honda, Yamaha, and the like. It's kind of my point where they're not bringing out anything that's overly exciting at the moment, because all the money's going into electric and behind the scenes. And one day Honda will launch an electric bike. Next minute Suzuki will be out with one a little bit cheaper. It will just get flooded, possibly.
Suzuki will still be making GSXR 1000 engines for like 50 years, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that's kind of my point. I mean, same Sophie Strom, same engine. It's been for 20 odd years, and there's probably stuff going on in behind the scenes. Because for me personally, that will probably be my next bike is an electric, but nothing's coming along at the moment. So I'm a big fan of electric.
Listen, I dabbled. I was quite tempted, and I dabbled for quite a bit with that scooter. And I'm a very reluctant buyer, and I thought about it, and I reached a decision in the end that I wasn't going to get it, because it's only good for the one job, which is to go 30 miles, 50 miles each day, go into town, come back. It doesn't do anything else, and ultimately, I'm hoping that I'm not going to be having to go physically into the office every day for the next 2 years. I think it'll be a kind of 4 or 5 months, and then I'm going to be working from home a bit more, and then I think can't do anything that I want to do. So I decided in the end not to get it. But I think if I lived in town or if I lived in a town and I had to just do 20, 30, 40, 50 miles a day, electric scooters or e-scooters or even the little stand-up scooters are a great answer for urban mobility. And we need to get fewer cars on the roads and more of those. But for going touring to Scotland, there's motorcycles are not going. I can't see motorcycles, electric ones, being any good for that.
I see
Can I just say
Redbomb's
that
just chomped in here and
Saddlebags,
said, I'm sorry,
I was going to say
just said that there's
Saddlebags has really impressed me that he's managed to keep a very photosynthesis look about him, and hasn't slammed the lid of his laptop down and walked out because we're talking about electric bikes.
yeah. Vogue, which is a brand which I've recently rode, the 500, and they're bringing out an electric one which has got a 6 kilowatt motor. So that should be interesting, and they're normally quite reasonable, quite well priced as well. So that might be an option for me. But yeah, you're not really big on electric, Sadu, are you? I guess you haven't really tried one yet, so you might enjoy it if you try
I haven't tried one, and to be honest, I'm not in a rush to either. The longer I can put
Somebody send them in a live wire. Send them in a live wire.
They're not as green as people seem to think they are. And there's no way we could all transition to electric tomorrow.
Absolutely agree.
Of rare materials.
I absolutely agree, Saddlebags, and sorry to interrupt.
Carry on. I'm out of my depth.
No, I think. Sorry, I've had a few now. It's something my dad said to me a while ago. He said, electric vehicles, electric cars, etc., are the right answer to the wrong question. Okay, everybody's asking, how can we transition to a new type of vehicle? That's the wrong question. We need to do fewer journeys overall. And I'm commuting into London and back every day, and I see an awful lot of cars with one passenger in them. It doesn't make any sense. You replace all of those with electric ones, you've still got the same problem. It's ridiculous.
Traffic chaos. Yeah.
Exactly. You need to move to a different form of transport, and then use the petrol engines for what they're good for, but not for the urban stuff. That doesn't make any sense.
They're good for making
Richard
videos.
Carroll. Sorry, mate. It's a bit of a delay on all of our things today. Richard Carroll, have you ever tried electric before?
No.
I've been pretty vocal in my. I don't hate them. I think they've got a purpose, especially watching noobs commute through London. I was impressed how well it kept up with the traffic, because traffic in London's slow, and how well it did really. But for the we ride for pleasure and for touring, and for me,
it won't do it.
It won't. It just doesn't cut it for me.
Maybe it will one day, but at the moment
I love the noise. Who doesn't love the right noise coming from their bike? I mean,
I love it too, but I also like the quietness of an electric. It's nice going up to the junction and there being absolutely nothing. It's quite peaceful, quite nice that.
Have you got an electric car?
No.
See, they make more sense to me than an electric bike.
I've got an electric car.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
I think there is
enough
about you travel more than 100 miles in this time of year, I can't use it.
Right. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Temperature kills
there are
them.
electric cars that will go further, isn't there? And I think there is a definite market for that. But bikes.
But as with all these things, it's the same as when petrol first come out. People say, no, there's no fuel stations. We have to fill up a bottle and take it back home, and but that's going to roll out over time. Batteries are going to get better. There'll be micro industries recycling the batteries and things that will open up a bit more. So it's just in its infancy at the end of the day. The argument is relative what you say, Saddle, about the infrastructure for charging. They say that if 10% of the UK had electric bikes and had to charge it every night, then it would just go to blackout. But at the end of the day, people are going to be buying these things steadily in dribs and drabs. It's not going to be like overnight, or like everyone's got the lights have gone off. So it just takes time to get going, really, these things. I think.
Changed a lot in
Oh,
the
I'm
last
a
10
fan.
years, hasn't it? So
Riding
Yeah.
the live wire blew me away. It really did.
Yeah.
yeah,
It was a superb bike, and much as yes, I love the noise exactly the same as you guys, and most of us do. We all love the noise. When I came to a junction and I stopped, and it was absolutely silent, and I could literally hear. This is going to sound really stupid and melodramatic, but you could hear the birds, you could hear nature, you could hear everything, and then you just go again. And that was actually something that was maybe not as good as the noise. We all like the noise, and we all like the vibration and the performance that we get. Although the performance on electric bikes arguably better.
Probably, yeah,
But
definitely.
the silence of it actually was a major selling point for me. And
I'd say
I
my
think the thing that
biggest.
puts me off is it's a twist and go, and I think we miss having gears. I think that's the thing we're going to lose out. We like to be able to play with gears and being involved with the bike rather than it being just a twist and go type effect. I don't know. It's just me, maybe.
But do you find, Phil, that one of my biggest thing with it is that you got no vibrations from an electric bike, and that's really quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's the same with the
Because
car.
on my
but
other
with the
bikes,
bike,
I'm vibrating and hands are tingling, and you get nothing on an electric bike, and that's quite nice.
the Harley actually artificially put a small bit of vibration through the saddle, so you know it's running or know it's turned on.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, the whole peace and
Don't know what's
quiet
going on
of
there.
it. I'm still sat on it now.
We'll see what happens there. See how it goes. I'm going to get another cider a minute, all right?
Okay.
Chat away.
Saddlebags, you're in the chair.
I know.
Right.
I think Phil read out some comments. That's the way to go.
I've been looking through the comments now. One guy with a channel that sort of comes on every week or every time we do these live chats is Code Grey. Now he's put a new video up today, and I'm going to do a quick game with you because he had a couple of things that were a bit controversial, So I want a thumbs up or a thumbs down from you, all right? And if he's watching, he'll understand this because it's in his video. In case you haven't seen it yet, so
I think he should
pickles, all right, which we call gherkins. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cottage cheese.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. Peanut
You
butter.
can't like
Oh,
or dislike something that has no taste.
Peanut butter. No,
No.
not doing the peanut butter.
Well, that's an American thing, though, isn't it? Peanut
Yeah,
butter.
no,
And
can't
here's
do
the big one. Here's the big one, the controversial bit. Gold forks. He was dead against gold forks.
It
They looked
depends.
a bit tacky, a
It
bit Mr.
depends.
T.
It depends on the bike. Depends on the bike.
It's a good video.
I'm giving a very
recommend
IAM answer here. It depends.
watching.
I suppose it depends if they've got Olin's written up on.
Get gold, sucker.
Get gold. And Western Rides is on here, so if Adam, you're watching, you just want to go into the chat and say to Western Rides that it's nice to have some decent quality videos coming out from Westonsupermotovlogs for a change, because he's here.
True story.
Because I know Adam's one of your biggest fans.
Adam Zill, because he had too many chips.
Yeah. Yeah, after him interrupting my walk round, good riddance, I say. I don't know if you saw that, Dave and Carol. I went up to do a walk round on a 500cc bike, and I should have known better. I brought Adam along, and he just gave me the giggles, and I couldn't stop laughing. He just stood there and just looking at him, just laughing again. I just couldn't stop laughing.
that is his superpower, isn't it? I think everybody has a superpower. Epicadam's superpower is to make you smile and laugh.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I couldn't help laughing tonight. It was a riotous when he told us he was ill. I just couldn't help myself.
I don't know what he's gone down with.
I'm only joking, Adam. You know that.
Yeah.
Get well
Just
soon.
going back to the show. Sorry, what was you looking forward to? So you've seen the BSAs, so you've done that. What else is there to look at?
Well, I thought Triumph had got a really good stand.
They had got a good stand, yeah, and they're launching another bike on Tuesday. So when you go on Thursday,
They've
you'll
got-
see the new Tiger.
They've got a disguised Tiger 1200,
Yeah,
the shaft
which I think
drive, which we had a look round, and it was interesting because when I stuck my camera up the front, there's no radiator between the front wheel and the exhaust pipe. There must be
hidden away.
tucked away at the sides, and it
Mm.
looks like the engine's come forward. So it looks.
So if you go later in the week, you'll see the
I
proper version
think
of that.
the proper bike is being unveiled.
on Tuesday.
So you'll see it if you're going Thursday. You'll see
Mm.
that bike.
Mm.
Yeah.
They have got a nice stand.
Really good standard. They've got the millionth bike produced
Yeah.
from
Hinkley.
from the since Hinckley set up,
Mm.
you know, produced worldwide. The millionth bike is there, and they've also got the very first Triumph bike ever made,
Yeah.
which is
Dick
like
Shepherd's
basically a
find
push
and-
bike with an engine on,
Yeah.
which was found by a guy. What's his name?
Dick Shepherd.
A guy called Dick Shepherd, and we got chatting to that fellow. Really interesting guy. It's his bike, but it's on the stand, and it's worth. They've got them side by side. The very first bike and the millionth bike.
It's a
So
nice stand. And
really
they've got
good
some
stand.
nice
Probably the
French
best
bikes.
stand there, in my opinion.
Mm.
And I think the other stand that interested me was Norton. Norton are obviously there, and they've got the V4
Well, the Cafe Racer.
Cafe Racer.
Yeah, that was nice.
Oh yeah.
That looks quite modern, but still a Norton. It's quite
Yeah,
a nice looking bike.
they've obviously got this V4 working properly now in the superbike, and they're thinking, well, we can get another type of bike out of this engine because it's the only engine we've really got at the moment, and they're making a Cafe Racer out of it. And it looked, give them
quite
credit,
funky, yeah,
it
they're
looked
nice.
quite nice, but it was still a pre-production model.
Yeah, again, no prices.
Yeah.
But there's
It's
two of
gonna be
them on the
expensive.
stand. They look quite nice,
Yeah.
but it depends how they price them, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah, and it probably
Oh.
will be quite pricey, I would imagine, being a Norton. I hear that Norton are going over quite a lot to EV as well. Don't know if you've had that, but apparently they have got these. It's a bit like the Atlas. Do you remember the Atlas that they were going to bring out?
That's
When
what we
Stuart
were
Garner
going
was
to
around.
buy.
We've got bad memories of the Atlas
We
because
forget about the Atlas.
well, Carol was a deposit down person on an Atlas.
Oh, you're joking.
Yeah.
Did you ever get
Yeah,
it back?
so- Yeah, we got the money back.
Well, we got the
but-
money back
but from
via
the
the
credit
card,
card,
but not from
Norton.
Stuart
Yeah,
Garner.
Mr. Garner still
No.
kept it. I think,
Yeah,
but,
we've still got the photo on the stand at the bike show. Was it 3 years ago or 4 years ago?
I can't
May have
remember.
been 4 years ago.
Seems like forever.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm.
the amount of stuff that guy told us,
Mm.
and it was all lies, really.
Mm.
You know, he was just trying to get money off folks.
It's really sad the amount of damage he's done to the brand.
Yeah,
because
it is.
He's
now the
severely
new
damaged
owners
that.
are going to
Yeah.
have to deal with all of that sort of
Mm.
negative equity of everything that's gone on in the recent past for
Yeah.
Norton.
Yeah,
It's
they've got a lot of
really
work to do
sad.
to rebuild that confidence with that.
There's still a lot of anger amongst existing V4 owners that had the original bikes from Garner's Norton, because basically New Norton have declared those bikes unsafe to ride on the road, and which is basically devalued these bikes that were worth 30, 40, 50,000
Well,
pounds.
it's not them, it's the DVSA, isn't it?
Yeah, but only since New Norton did all this testing and reported back to them, and that is basically scuppered them, and now the offer to those owners. Go on, sorry.
Well, hang on a minute. I mean, were they safe before and they were only unsafe after the testing?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what came first.
It's
to
like
be honest.
it's like if you don't test for COVID, you won't find any cases. It's like
Yeah, well, there's a
Yeah.
strong argument why MCM gave it a glowing review when there was so many things wrong with it. You know, which convinced even more people to buy. You know?
But this is the thing with the motorcycle press, and this is why I would watch and I would trust somebody like EXETERRIDER doing a review of a bike before I trust the press, because the press they're getting flown out, they're getting a meal out, and they won't get any of that if they write anything bad about a bike, right? And that's the plain truth.
Yeah.
So if you have an honest review, somebody who's actually saying, willing to tell you warts and all, this is good, this is bad. The motorcycle presses, they're just recycling the same nonsense about
Yeah.
bikes and say everything's wonderful and fantastic because they're
Quite
partly-
often they
they
get
depend on it.
brainwashed as well. They go on these media pack days, get sent out to Spain, get fed a load of crap in their head subconsciously, and then you know it's hard to sort of filter it through, really, isn't it? What's real and what's not. But
yeah, there's no proper journalism anymore. Actually testing these things and really scrutinising them, is there?
Well, I just think everybody feels a degree. They've sent you out to an exotic location. You
Wined
know,
and dined.
you wined and dined. Are you actually going to say anything horrifically bad about that bike on that launch anyway?
Yeah, but that's the question. Who are they serving? They're serving the motorcycle manufacturers. They're not serving the public buying.
They are doing.
If they were, they would tell you
manufacturers,
about
they are.
reliability issues, the fact that, you know, these things break and then it costs you a packet to get them fixed. None of that comes out.
Yeah,
No.
absolutely.
Trouble is, it's a selling technique. Anyone who accepts anything for free is duty bound then to give something a glowing reference. It's a fact that's used in all sorts of places, whether you go and accept a block of cheese in Asda or a new motorcycle jacket from Alpine Stars. You're testing it and you feel duty bound to give something back. And if you're not going to give something back by buying that block of cheese, you're going to give the jacket a glowing review. It's just the way that the mindset works, unfortunately, which is why it's very difficult to believe anything like. And I loved EXETERRIDER's face, but when Noobbiker said he's more likely to believe a review from EXETERRIDER than maybe an MCN, it's because, and he's quite right in what he says, someone like EXETERRIDER will give you a warts and all review of something, which you're quite upfront about at the start of the review, because you're not getting paid to do it. Whereas MCN have probably, like you've said, Richard and Carol, regards, they've probably been taken to Spain, they've been wined, dined, put on these new bikes which are substandard while they're still drunk from all the sangria the night before, and they're told to go out and ride it and then review it. And and it's very difficult to
whilst they're on holiday.
had something free.
Whilst they're on holiday, basically.
Whilst they're on,
he's not going to be in a bad mood, when you're on holiday.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, but for me, I've always said that, I've always dreaded getting a bike, and there's certain bikes which I'll avoid because I know that I'm probably not going to like them. But there's lots of cases, but the most recent one is the Honda NC750 Euro 5. Now that's got a problem with the fueling, and I said that in my review. No one else did. That it was choking when you open it up at the lights. It was like bogging down, and then it would think about it and go. I was sort of thinking, how am I going to word this? Because you've got to be diplomatic about a negative comment that you make about a bike. It's my opinion, and sure enough, apparently Honda. Don't quote me on this, but I know that Honda, on some of the VIN numbers of the bikes, are recalling them to remap the electronic fuel injection. So for me, I'm just thinking, thank God I said that, because I'm the only person who said that is a problem, because I am quite well tuned mechanically to a bike. I'm not a mechanic, but it's one of my strong points. So yes, so on that side of things, I'm glad I said that. But as I say to anyone with reviewing bikes, you do have to be honest. Of course you do. And that I think that is a skill, to be honest and yet say something's not very good. And you'll find out when I try when I put my review up of the Sinus T380, that which I didn't get on with at all. But I highlight the good points, but the bad points are also there as well for people to take on board or not take them. So it's a balanced review, but overall you get the impression the video seems flat. I'm not excited. I didn't like the bike, obviously. And it's a difficult one to balance.
Yeah, I think people who watch, especially people who watch on YouTube, expect you to be honest about it, and that's what's so disappointing about the motorcycle press, is that they're not being honest. They're not doing their job. They call themselves the press, but they're not doing any investigation. Because if they were, they'd be highlighting all the issues with reliability, things that break. But all they write about is like, I didn't have any problems and I rode it for 200 miles. Well, congratulations. 200 miles from new, fine. It's not even in the service.
It's not a real life test, is it?
Yeah, I think the world now is going down a road where people are believing what they hear and see on things like YouTube with small and medium-sized channels than they are on Sky News or the press or anything like that. because they know that that is very much faked to sell airtime a lot of the time. And I know there's a load of sort of clickbait with regards to YouTube channels, but for instance, when the New York riots were going on a couple of years back, well, last year, I think it was, the year before last, I was getting better information from a channel called Ducati NYC, who commuted in and out of New York every day about these riots, than you were getting from Sky News and BBC, because it was all faked.
Yeah.
Western Riders had a question. As a general question, would you buy a brand new bike or wait a year until they bring out version 2 so all the problems have been ironed out?
I can answer that. Version 2, trust me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I won't say why, but version 2.
I bought an
That's
original.
from an experience. I've ridden lots of bikes, and I wouldn't have said this in Euro 4 days, but in Euro 5 days. And I said this to you, Noob, the other day, didn't I? Euro 4. If it's Euro 5, then I'd probably wait, till generation 2.
Yeah,
and Julie Wright is saying you see all the big vloggers being wined and dined now as well. Is that true? Yeah, I think the manufacturers are figuring out people search out reviews that aren't in the big mags. So where's all this whining and dining happening here? Come on.
Well, on the live streams.
If you get a handful of tickets to Lanzarote, you know where we are, okay?
Yeah. Carol, I know that we're probably keeping you. You've got don't feel like you have to hang around if you do want to go, because I know that we said we were going to.
We've only got dinner waiting, but we'll be okay for a bit longer.
Yeah. All right. We'll knock off in another 15. Yeah. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's gone really quickly, actually. I'm surprised how quickly time's gone by.
It does. You can easily do 2 hours on one of these, but you seem, you start seeing people drop off and things. So, and also the commenters as well. They'll stop writing.
They've gone to bed.
Yeah, but it's been really interesting because we've had the bike show to chat about, and just going back to the bike show, another stand that really interested us. They've only got one bike on there, and it's the Langen. I don't know if you've heard of the Langen 2-stroke. It's a Langen 2-stroke road legal. Well, I say road legal. It's a 2-stroke, so they must be getting round the Euro 5 regs by being a very small manufacturer. But it looks beautiful. It looks
road legal where?
It's road. Yeah, you can buy this. It's about 30,000 quid.
Yeah, it's very nice looking, but it's very.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think. Yeah. Emma Franklin, one of the MCN reporters, she's done a video on it. It's out there on MCN video, and not that I want to take everything that MCN say as
she gave it a glowing review.
She did give it a glowing review. It's slightly worrying.
What a surprise!
But if you do go to the show, it's worth. That's it.
Phil, come on! Is it after the watershed?
Yeah, it looks beautiful, and as somebody did own a 2-stroke originally back in the early 80s, I've got nostalgia for them, but they probably belong in the past. But it's a beautiful work of art to look at it, But it's like the opposite to electric. It's like moving back in time. You open it up and the pile of smoke comes out the back.
Well, we are ride it next year. You just got a donation from Motor UK.
Oh, yeah.
What, again? Oh, mate, thanks, Nick.
Well, might see you tomorrow, Nick.
Oh, Nick, you shouldn't do these things, mate. I owe him a few beers now. I'll tell you. Thanks, Nick.
Bandit, where were you guys walking around the old British motorcycles the other day? I watched it yesterday. Where was that?
That was at the National Motorcycle Museum Open Day. So they do it every year. It's definitely worth a visit. You get free entry to the National Motorcycle Museum, which you've got a massive, such an enormous collection of bikes.
Got a fabulous collection.
Anyway, but the Open Day is definitely worth a visit. And it was a horrible day. It chucked it down with rain, but it's all inside. Yeah. And they put on a good show, and they got Henry Cole and Alan Milliard and
John McGuinness
was on
Steve Plater
on the stage, and the show was good.
I put a little bit of the stage show on afterwards, but I couldn't get good audio from it. But it was a good laugh and freebie day.
Get there early, and you get around all the bikes before everybody else piles in there.
Really interesting.
Really good day out. So they do it every year. So watch out for it on the National Motorcycle museum. It's definitely worth a visit.
Isn't that like right next to the NEC as well, or is it?
Yeah, it is. It is
very
next
near, very
door
near,
to
yeah.
the
It's
NEC.
just-
Yeah, so you could get a train up to the NEC train station, and you haven't even got to drive, you know. And it's a real good day out.
Yeah, we really enjoyed it, didn't we?
Yeah,
it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people there, but
didn't
as
see
long
any
as you get there early. Pardon?
I didn't see any matchless there. Did I just miss that, or?
No, they were there.
They were there.
Were they?
Yeah, you have edited the video. You've probably not shown everything.
Yeah,
there's so much stuff.
The trouble is, you know, it turns into, unless you're really, really into your British bikes, it turns into a bit of a bore fest watching us go around. Well,
every minutest detail. Yeah,
you can only put so much out, really.
Yeah, if you love classic bikes, it's quite interesting, and it's lovely to see the transition as the years go on and how they develop as well.
It's really interesting. They've got some beautiful brushy periods there. I mean, they've all got big oil trays under them. Every bike in there is leaking oil.
Like I said, the reason they leak is you can tell there's still oil in them. They used to call it. The sad thing, I just wanted to add one thing about Matchless is where I work right now is near Regent Street, Savile Row. So it's all the fashion houses, and Matchless have got a store on Regent Street, but it's just to sell. It's just to sell like fashion clothes. They've got a couple of the bikes on display just to attract. There's a Matchless and there's a Belstaff. But you look at it and it says, none of this is actually motorcycle stuff, and I can't use it on a motorcycle because it would just fall apart. It's sad to see that it's just always become a little heritage fashion brand.
Yeah, I think they're all at it, aren't they? A lot of them in London have got these shops that are just selling the brand.
Oh, Norton had got a shop down there
they
somewhere.
Yeah, because we went down.
We saw it. Yeah, and
Street,
they were more selling the fashion.
Yeah, Harley Davidson are very good at it, aren't they?
Yeah,
selling the brand.
Oh, they're market leaders for that. Yeah, Harley Davidson.
You don't need a motorbike. Just
Harley
buy the
Davidson.
brand.
You buy into a bit of a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no,
spot on there, Noob. You're spot on there. Harley Davidson don't sell a motorbike, but they sell a lifestyle. That's huge. We talked about this the other day, didn't we? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we did,
when you buy a Harley Davidson, you're not buying a motorbike, you're buying a lifestyle.
Yeah, true story. That definitely. Yeah, but I have to say, Richard, that you're so lucky, you know, having a missus that likes to go around a museum, a motorbike museum, because there's no way I could get mine. Not a chance.
I think you can't beat and join them, I think, is my philosophy on that one. So
Richard, she's a keeper, mate.
Oh, she's an absolute keeper. There's no doubt about that. So, I mean, I think sort of like a decade ago, she saw me having so much fun on bike. She thought,
hold on a minute.
Yeah,
I'm missing out.
Our oldest lad, he wanted to learn to ride, so he shocked me a bit when Carol says, "Well, I'll learn at the same time." So that was
that's just like one of the best things you can ever hear from your missus, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the best thing I ever did, and it's opened up a whole new world for us.
Oh, we see so many places, and sort of most of our holiday money doesn't go on a regular holiday; it goes on a biking holiday.
Brilliant.
You know.
Yeah, we don't do.
What bikes have you had, Carol?
Pardon?
What bikes have you had? What bikes have
I've
you had in the
had
past?
the street triple that I've got now, and I had a street triple before that. 2012 one was my first bike. I learned on a 125 KTM 125, which me and our eldest lad, because we were learning at the same time, we sort of shared. So he rode it to college each day, and then at the weekends I'd ride it to have a practice and do once I'd done my CBT, and then did me mod 1 and mod 2 and everything. But so we had that one between us, but I've only had the two bikes of me and the two Triumphs. That's all I've had.
How did you get on with the KTM? Was that quite reliable?
KTM was a lovely little bike, really. Wasn't
it was all right.
It was all right to learn on. I mean,
it had a few issues, didn't it?
Yeah, Ben was riding it once, and
the gear lever
fell off.
And the chain strapped like it was made of
It was fine for the purpose we needed.
I think it was an Indian built.
Yeah, it was fine
KTM.
for the purpose.
But it looked nice, and we got a good amount back for it when he sold on, didn't he? And he bought himself another big bike because he bought
a Ducati after that.
He was one of the last ones as a 17-year-old that took his bike test and then could buy any size bike.
So we had it took down to a lower.
Yeah, he had it
horsepower,
restricted,
didn't he?
but
But he bought a Ducati 950 or something.
no, he bought a 620
620, that was
Multistrada
it, yeah,
of all things.
620.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Which I wish we still
Hippodrones,
got, quite rare,
that's the
actually,
saddest
now.
story I've ever heard.
Yeah, yeah.
Hippodrones, that's just like the saddest comment I've ever read.
What's that?
What's that?
I gave a DT125 to a lass I was trying to bone. Didn't get to ride her, and she sold it and got a jigsaw.
Good old
Oh, no, that didn't go well.
Carol, I wanted to ask you actually, what's your take on women's motorcycle gear? Are you happy with what's on offer? What's
It's
available?
getting a lot better. It's getting a lot better. I mean, I've been riding 10 years, and I'm not small by any means. But whereas when I first started, I tended to buy men's gear because the sizes of the ladies didn't go up to my size. But now you can get all sorts, even likes of, you know, the sort of really nice manufacturers, RST and, you know, Held and all those. I
think they're seeing the light, actually.
They're seeing that there's a big market out there. And I'm in a group of women motorcycle on Facebook thing, and there's like, you know, 15,000 members on there, on that Facebook group. So there's a lot of women riding now. So it's a big market that's opening up. There's less and less want to do pillions, more and more want to ride themselves. So I mean, we've got friends in our little group that we ride with, and all the ladies ride.
All the ladies
all
ride,
got their own bikes, and yeah, it's just like I say, it's opened up a whole new world, really. Hasn't it?
Oh, it should be, really.
Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely getting better as far as gear. Yeah.
It's certainly nice seeing more ladies out on the road, you know.
Yeah, I think the world's moved on. Yeah.
Have I done it again, Phil? Oh, it is.
I think I should leave now. I'll leave you to it now. I don't know.
Oh, Phil's on the phone now. Look, how rude. Right. Okay. Let's start wrapping now. Any other questions, folks?
No, I just want to say
I'm not going to ask Phil. He's busy.
Nice to see Richard and Carol here. I'm a big fan of your channel. And
yeah, it's good to see you.
Well, it's mutual. We think you're very talented.
Yeah.
And
you make us laugh.
You make us laugh.
We like you.
And we are just about putting up with the jokes on the run up to Christmas.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but let us know if you want to visit the National Motorcycle Museum anytime, because it's really just up the road for us. So,
but if you're ever up in the Midlands area, give us a shout.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely. Any of you really.
And likewise, if you're ever down this part of the world.
Yeah. Well, there is a chance we might make it down south in the summer.
Yeah. We're talking to Heath, weren't we? We might sort something out.
Yeah, we might sort something out. So we might give you a shout.
Yeah.
Well, I'll fight the seagulls off.
Yeah, keep them seagulls away. Yeah, dangerous things they are.
Yeah. I've still got bad memories of Dartmouth.
Still traumatised ears about that.
Dartmouth, that was. Oh, blimey.
I had the same in St Ives, Richard.
Sorry?
I can feel a checkered flag meet coming on.
Yeah. All right then, folks. Right. Okay. So thank you very much to all the side comments and all the people that have commented. Special thanks to Moto UK, who's once again chipped in some money to the channel. Much appreciated, mate. And yeah, I don't know what to say to that. It's just mind blowing that you do that. So thank you very much for that. Thank you to the panel, including Banditman UK or Richard and Carol.
Thank you.
And yeah, I guess we'll see you on the next live stream. And yeah, goodbye.
Bye to everyone.
Okay, cheers.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Jada.